On today's episode of the Outlet Podcast, I'll be talking about 3 video games that I'm hyped for, waiting, and the death of anime. You are listening to the Outlet Podcast. Connect and recharge. Hello everybody, how you doing? It's great to have you listening. This is the Outlet Podcast, the second episode. I'm continuously excited, hoping that I can just keep on going with this show and keep on providing entertaining content as well as some inspiring words to help you get through the rest of your day. Like I mentioned before, we're going to be talking about 3 video games that I'm super excited for. I painstakingly went through researching every trailer, every website that had information about all these games, and I can't wait to share that stuff with you, as well as some scripture. And one of the big things I want to talk about is the death of anime, as proposed by one of the greatest creators of anime, Neon Genesis Evangelion. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The first episode, I told everybody, hey, you can catch me on, you can send me an email at outletpodcast@youtube.com. That made no sense. I got all the information right now. So let me tell you, you can contact me on Twitter. Catch me on Twitter. You got a pencil or write this down, you guys. You can contact me on Twitter at outletpodcast. You know, send me some tweets right there. You know, you only got 180 characters there. You can contact me there. Visit me on the Facebook fan page. That's where I always post pictures. I post pictures to Twitter too, but I'm really dedicated to the Facebook page. Putting updates, everything that I'm doing. YouTube, I decided I won't be using it now that I have Soundcloud. You've probably heard me now recently just on SoundCloud by itself. If you don't know, you can catch me on soundcloud.com/outletpodcast. That's where the RSS feeds. You can subscribe, and every time I upload anything, boom, you'll be there. Like the Outlet Podcast right there, and you can constantly get updates on there. You can also reach me at my WordPress blog, outletpodcast.wordpress.com. I'm in the works. I'm excited because I want to do a merch store, and I'm interested. I'm like, okay, maybe t-shirts, maybe hats. So I'm wondering what is it that I could probably give out, do some prizes, bumper stickers, magnets, something like that. So that is going to be on my WordPress blog. So outletpodcast.wordpress.com. And if you have any advice, any questions, any comments that you have, you can post it on the Facebook page, post it to Twitter. You can write, you can put something on the wall at the WordPress blog, but also you can email me at outletpodcast@yahoo.com. Once again, it's outletpodcast@yahoo.com. Reach me there, send me an email. I'm always checking it to see who might have sent what, or if in anything. I'll read all the emails that I will be getting, and I'll try my best to answer any and every question that comes my way. So without further ado, let's actually just get into the content. This is going to be the Game Over segment. Game Over, because we're going to be talking about video games. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Man, I'm excited. I put money down on 2 of the 3 games because the third game I did not know that it was even going to come out. the first game that I put money down, I played it since PlayStation, and I just kept on going. I wasn't able to get a PS3. I literally jumped from 1 to 2 to 4. So I wasn't able to get a PS3 to play the game that came out on the 3. So, man, it's Metal Gear 5. I don't know if you're a Metal Gear fan. It's a great game, let me tell you. It involves mostly tactical espionage. It's not a first-person shooter by any means. It's like a role. It's not kind of like a role-playing game. The camera's like right behind the character. Whether it's Raiden, whether it's Snake, or Big Boss, you're following them like right behind. That's the view. This is a great game. The cutscenes, if it weren't for Hideo Kojima and the way he does the cutscenes, I don't know where video games would be. Cutscenes are kind of important. I love a good cutscene. I love to be, wined and dined after I've, killed like 100 ninjas or something like that. I love the satisfaction of kind of like sitting down and seeing this great animation, these great graphics. I like following the story. The current game that I'm playing now is The Last of Us. Don't spoil it for me, anybody. Please don't send me an email. Don't go to Twitter. Don't go on Outlet Podcast or on Facebook.com/Outlet Podcast. Please don't go and spoil it for me, please. But I'm going through the whole story, and I'm not trying to do like Easter eggs, not with this game. I just want to get to these cutscenes because the animation is beautiful. And what I love about the Metal Gear franchise, the story of it, you're following at first like Metal Gear, 1 start off with Solid Snake. And the guy has a great voice, David Hayter. He's awesome. You follow that, and you go to number 2. He intricately weaved an amazing story with Metal Gear. You got everything. You got your boss battles, which are awesome because not one boss is similar to the previous boss in the previous game. There are surprises, everything that comes out of left field, the types of like side missions that you have to do. Like I remember in Metal Gear 2, I had to go in this an ocean oil rig, and I had to go and extinguish like 8 bombs that were randomly there, and I need to like find something like some like device so I can find the bombs. It's great. Metal Gear is one of the best franchises. If you haven't played it, you can play it for Xbox because I've seen them do like a little crossover. Metal Gear 5, I don't know how soon they'll cross over with Metal Gear 5 Phantom Pain, but it's worth it. There are tons of trailers online. You go to YouTube and look it up. Phantom Pain. It's very beautiful, very beautiful stuff. It came out first with like the first 20-30 minutes of the game. You can buy it at your GameStop or Walmart, however you buy your games, if you buy your games. And it's called Ground Zeroes, and it's like $15 or $20, $25, however whatever the inflation price is. But in the current game, it's pretty interesting. I mean, they got horses. Well, yeah, you can ride a horse. Witcher recently, I think Witcher 3, you can, they introduced horses, but there's horses in this one as opposed to like only giant nuclear missile robots and like random vehicles, motorcycles. No. This goes back. This takes it to original horsepower. Yeah, there was a pun right there. Yes. Okay, all right. Some people are laughing. Okay, yeah, and then others, yeah. What's going on, right? You guys aren't. Okay, there's one guy over there who's just clapping. Okay, I don't like you, sir. I do not appreciate that, sir. But with this game, I was watching the trailers. it talks about real-time weather, which is pretty interesting. In a video game, it's not all one issue. I mean, imagine if you're gonna be a spy, you're walking, and all of a sudden, it starts to rain. Now you're everywhere you walk, you're leaving traces of footsteps. It's that intricate, the details. So let's see what he also talks. There's different transportation modes. I mean, you can jump in tanks, you can jump in, like bipedal robots. You can jump in, planes and all this other stuff. There's a lot of strategic freedom, which is pretty interesting. I like to have a little bit of freedom. I'm not too much of an open world MMORPG kind of person. I kind of like a little bit of a point to get to the story. I really, I'm all about that structure. So there's some strategic freedom, things that you can do. The realistic time passage. There's a deeper stealth action, dramatic close quarters combat. Metal Gear has an amazing close quarters combat. It's amazing what they do with how you need to disarm a person, or you can like choke them out, or you can like interrogate them. You can threaten them. You can hold them up at gunpoint. It's pretty cool what they're doing with that video game. So there's a bunch of new people in the video game. Some people are new, some people are old. They got Kazuhira Miller, and the Miller that's reminds me of McDonald Miller. McDonald Miller is like a person from the first video game. There's a kid that goes by the name of Eli Skullface. They have a guy named Emmerich, which reminds me of Otacon, Hal Emmerich. So I'm wondering if this Emmerich guy is the father of Hal Emmerich in previous video games, because you're not playing as Solid Snake, you're playing as his father, because Solid Snake is a clone of his father. He's not the biological baby, but he's a clone of the greatest soldier of all time, which is Big Boss. Metal Gear is hardcore. I can't get into it. There's Revolver Ocelot, another boss by the name of Code Talker, a boss that goes by a new character, a female character. People have been like judging her. They're like, oh, why is she like half naked? I can't tell you why, because I haven't played the game yet. But she goes by the name of Quiet. She's a sniper. I love snipers. They're the coolest. So I'm very interested to see what Metal Gear has for me. How long the gameplay will be. I've played Metal Gear 4 and it was unbelievably rewarding. So that's what I'm all about. If a game can give me that satisfaction of the $60 that I shelled out, awesome. That's what I'm paying for. All right, so next on the docket, this came out of left field. I did not expect this game to come out. It's Guitar Hero Live. All right, do yourself a favor, watch the trailer. It is one of the most amazing, innovative trailers I've ever seen. Okay, it's not like, okay, here's the video game and here's screenshots, or here's gameplay. No. It doesn't do that. Okay, man. All right, fine. It's a first-person view of you're a guitarist, and you look down and you see that you're like trembling, and you're in like the green room, and you hear a hum of a cheer way far away from you, and you're with your bandmates, and your bandmates are looking at you, and they're people. This isn't like the cartoons that Guitar Hero has always had, like the cartoon musicians, the avatars playing. No. These are real people that are interacting with you. Then there's a knock on the door. It's like they're like, it's showtime. I'm getting excited and giddy like a schoolgirl. I don't know what to do. Yeah. I'm fanboying. I'm fangirling. It's amazing. It's so cool. Okay, so there's a knock on the door. They're like, "You're on, you're on." So the band starts moving their way out, and a stagehand, she's at the door. She's like, "Are you okay?" And you're just walking behind your drummer, and you're like looking down. Your hands are like twitching, and there's like a groupie, and she's like, "Hey, have a good show." Yeah, and she's like being all like sexy or whatever. So like you walk past her, and you get behind the stage, and like your lead singer goes out. He's like, "Whoa, we got a packed crowd," and he comes down, and he's like, you get in the musician huddle. Okay, the reason why I'm crazy about music is because I'm a musician. I play guitar. I play classical guitar. I play acoustic guitar. I play electric guitar. I say it specifically like that because I don't pick up my nylon string and try to play rock stuff on it. I'm very distinguished, and like I distinguish certain things. Like my classical guitar is where I play my Francisco Tarrega, Matteo Carcassi. That's where I play my Johann Sebastian Bach. But when I get on my Fender Strat, I'm kind of focusing on Eric Clapton style. I really enjoy Clapton. So that's why that's why I love music, and I'm very particular about my music. So Gazy, whoa, if you're a guitarist, why do you like Guitar Hero? Let me continue. So you get in the musician huddle, and all of a sudden, so you're in the huddle, and you're like, all right, let's gonna have a great show. Your band goes out, you're the last, and the guitar, like the guitar tech, puts the Fender Strat over you, and he's like grizzled, his long dried out hair with like a goatee, and he's just looking at you, and you walk up on stage, and it is like pandemonium. The crowd is massive. This is the first person view trailer. Okay, it is unbelievable. All right, when you mess up in this game, when you are messing up, your bandmates start giving you the stink eye. Your lead singer is mouthing words like, "What are you doing?" You're looking around to your other guitarists. The other guitarist is showing you the chord to hold. The drummer is shaking her head. It is like crazy. You look out into the crowd. The crowd is there are real people that are like shaking their heads at you. They're like, "This stinks. This is garbage." It is the most, once again, sensual. Like, oh my gosh, it wrecks you. Okay, so that's guitar. Okay, there's two ways to play this Guitar Hero game. All right, they got the Guitar Hero Live, and then they got Guitar Hero TV. The Guitar Hero Live is what I've been explaining, and so that is what that's one way to play it, Guitar Hero Live. The next way to play it is I guess it gives you like the classic look, and you can play modern day hits. They're gonna constantly renew the library, so that's exciting, and it's not the way the controllers. Yes, you do have a guitar controller, but it's not like the previous controller as it was. It's a different, instead of the line of 5, I think 6 buttons, different colors. Now it's just 3 buttons on one fret, like 3 buttons on top and 3 buttons on the bottom of where your by the headstock. It's right there. Watch the Guitar Hero trailer. Do yourself the favor. You'll get psyched. I'm excited because Guitar Hero, it kind of started. It revived the party system. The party system for me, or at least the party game, the game that got everybody, hey, we gotta go, yo, let's do LAN party, or let's all go, bring your controller, we're going to this guy's house. It was Halo, because Halo, you would do your capture the flags, you will play. That's how I played Halo. I never played Halo for the sake of the story. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Master Chief is cool and whatever, but I never played it. And I love watching Red versus Blue. If you haven't watched Red versus Blue, do yourself the favor. Watch Red versus Blue. It's on. I watch it on YouTube. Rooster Teeth. That's how I watch it. I don't like kind of going to the website and watching it, just because my phone can't handle that. Like I just go like going to YouTube. So the control is different, and what else? Wow, this revived the party game for me. Like, yeah, they ended up coming out. Remember, I don't know do you remember DJ Hero? Yeah, that didn't really kick off too well, and I enjoy. I purchased Rocksmith I think it's 2015 or 2014. I purchased the recent one, and I enjoy it because I literally plug in my Fender Strat into my PlayStation 4. I'm a PlayStation person. Sorry, Xbox fans. Sorry, Nintendo dudes. I'm a PS dude. That's how I roll. That's how I like to play my video games. I'm a PlayStation fanboy. So I like to play. I like playing. I'm playing like My Chemical Romance, my Foo Fighters, and I'm detuning my guitar. I'm tuning it back up to the record, how they recorded the guitar on the side for the song. So that's how I like to play it. But not everybody can actually play a guitar. So what this does, and I think that's what they considered. They were like, okay, this isn't for guitarists. It's just a party game. How can we make it easy but yet difficult but enjoyable for everybody? Man, I can't tell you how many times I went to MegaCon. All right, everybody, I'm from Orlando. I'm in Orlando. All right, there you go. I didn't have to wait for 500 fans. But I'm in Orlando, and the regional cons in my area are the MegaCon, MetroCon, AFO is one of the ones one of the ones I like to go to. It's kind of smaller, but I enjoy it. And man, let me tell you, the people who just like, they'll get the Guitar Hero, and you just see. It's just like when they do Dance Dance Revolution. Like, their fingers are flying. Well, Dance Dance Revolution is their feet. But you look at the screen, and it's crazy patterns that are just going like a mile a minute. And, not everybody can do that. Some people just want to have a good time. So definitely check out Guitar Hero. Do yourself a favor. If you're interested in a girl and you want to, like, have her over, and you don't want it to be too awkward, you invite a bunch of your friends, mutual friends, that is a game that you'll love to, like, everybody get down, have fun, and play. All right, third game, there were a lot of trailers for it. Unlike Metal Gear, and Guitar Hero might have some DLCs, downloadable content, everybody. For those of you who don't know, DLC, downloadable content. Arkham Knight. I'm lamenting a little bit because I haven't played the I haven't played the Origins. I played one. I did two. I didn't do Arkham Origins, which is painful. It stinks that I haven't gotten to play that game yet. I'm hoping that it opens up on the PlayStation Store so I can rent it for like a month and get through the whole story. But Arkham Knight is amazing. People have wondered if the new villain is someone from the DC universe. I've been told that it's someone completely different. It's not who you think it is. No, it's not the Joker, and it's not Mark Hamill. Come on, like, why would you? Okay, let me just, real quick. I don't know if you hear that. You hear that? All right, that was the emergency signal. That I don't want to do any spoilers, but if you played it, you know that the Joker passes away. And he passes away in the most Jokerish of ways. They gave him props. That was amazing. So, this is a new character. I nerd out a lot about me and anime, and I love anime. Anime is amazing, and mangas. I love, I love my mangas, but I'm a comic book fan too. What brought me into comic books was the New 52. You might be like, oh, you're not true, you're not real, but guess what? When I was brought in to the New 52, then I started to actually do my research. I read about the infinite crisis on infinite Earths. I read about like all these, flashpoints. I did my homework. I made sure that I was a reputable nerd. I didn't want to be that guy who just like hops on a bandwagon. Like these days, like comic book hero movies are crazy, and just because people know that Tony Stark is Iron Man, that's being a nerd is the popular thing now. And if you're an authentic nerd, it's like, man, you guys won't be here when it's all over, So we'll see. But this Arkham Knight video game, it's definitely for everybody. You don't need to know. You don't need to know too much because the game will tell it for you. What I enjoyed about the trailers of the game is that, it's something of an open world, and that Batman they did a playthrough, and Batman was able to glide long distances. He was able to use his grappling hook, that shot him up a few couple hundred feet or whatnot, and he was able to glide through the city, through large parts of the city. The fighting is very combo oriented. If you play the last one, it's pretty cool. It's not just circle 50 times when you're in a crowd of like 50 like gangbangers or whatever. Many of the combos you can do actually some pretty cool moves that weren't in the video game before, and they're multi-button combos, so that's pretty cool. There's stats given after every kind of like a boss fight, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe if you're a stats dude, if you're trying to like unlock certain things, that's definitely a plus. If you're that kind of me with this game, I will do Easter eggs. I will search because you never know what they're gonna do. I missed out on a lot of the Easter eggs and the hidden stuff that I had to go to YouTube and ended up watch someone, gloriously collect them all. I want to be that person. I want to go and see if I can figure out all of the Riddler's riddles. So definitely. And one of the things is that it's nice to see Batman in action, with in all his glory. I mean, people like we've seen Batman. All right, we've seen the Christian Bale Batman, and I mean we've seen previous Batman, but it's nice to see. I tend to believe that Batman is best showed in animation. Like there's something about him in animation because they can do a little more, and they can show how reputable he is and how credible he is. He's not a superhero. He's a crime fighter, and he gets the job done. When you look at his outfit in this video game, it's not bulky. It's imposing. You look at this. You look at like it's serious. There's a scene where he has he's interrogating a guy. He's like, where's the Riddler? I'll never tell you. He's like puts him down on the ground. And then the guy tells him, he's like, all right. He says something along the lines of, don't let me see you again, or I'm gonna have to break the other arm. And the guy's like, what? Boom, and he breaks the other arm. That's Batman. That is who he is. I mean, we're not seeing Bruce Wayne, which would be something interesting probably in the future if they can pull off maybe like a Court of Owls, so we can see Bruce Wayne in the game, not just Batman. That would be very interesting. That would blow my mind. So yeah, what else? I mean, the game is aesthetically pleasing. I liked how they have. They always create a good environment. There are a lot of DC, your favorites. They got, Jim Gordon's there. You're gonna see Two-Face, Scarecrow, Oracle. I love the Oracle. Oracle. Barbara Gordon is she's the hottie, man. She's awesome. Barbara Gordon. If you don't know, she's the daughter of Commissioner Gordon. They made him commissioner, but she's his daughter. And according to the Batman story, if you follow the story, and I think I believe it's in Killing Joke. Yeah, I believe it's in Killing Joke. And I even own the Brave and the Bold comic, where I owned the comic before she got shot by the Joker, which paralyzed her. Those you don't know, Barbara Gordon is Batgirl. That she's Batgirl, and she was Batgirl for a long time. All of a sudden, knock on the door, and boom, it's the Joker. He shoots her, and she ends up being paralyzed. Recently, in the New 52, they brought her around, and she's walking around. It's like she rehabilitated, and that's cool. That makes sense. If you get shot, that doesn't mean you're gonna die. And if you've been crippled and you're in a wheelchair, that does not mean that you cannot go through processes of rehabilitation if your condition is such where you can improve. Recently, they took her, and I don't know what they're doing with her. I stopped reading Batgirl because it's all about the writers. There's some writers I do not stand for. Ann Nocenti, she did Catwoman. She was garbage. I much preferred the earlier one, it's 1 through 15. The writers who were doing Catwoman earlier on through the Death of the Family, those writers were amazing. The recent one, Ann Nocenti, she's garbage. I do not like what she does. But you're going to be able to recognize a lot of people. The Catwoman, you got Red Robin, Nightwing, who else are you going to see? You're going to see the Penguin, the Riddler, Poison Ivy. You're going to see all these people. So it's pretty cool. The characters got their different designs. That's something that I enjoy. I like seeing people's different outfits on certain characters. I don't like part of me, okay, I'll guard myself, but I don't like seeing the overly hot Harley Quinn. I'm not a fan of the lascivious, instead of using other words, Harley Quinn. I like the old jumpsuit Batman Adventures cartoon Harley Quinn. She's not a fool. She's not like a prostitute. She's not stupid. She's a doctor of psychology, and she's able to hang around with Joker and listen. She knows her stuff. She's not a fool. So hopefully they do her justice in the Suicide Squad movie. I really hope so. I don't want to see. It's one of the worst things when you go to a con. Am I right, guys? I mean, I'm married, so I'm not I don't care as much as I used to when I was single. When you see the girls do cosplay and they do Harley Quinn, and it's like you got 50 Harley Quinn girls, and you're like, oh wow, which one looks, which one's has the the better body. It's we do it this injustice when it's just about the appearance and not about the character. But when you go to a con, you're just people just dressing up as the character, and I can't blame them. But yeah, so hopefully they do. Hopefully Harley Quinn, I think she'll be a DLC character that you can download. So there's that. And of all the trailers, they have, one of my favorite one is Be the Batman. Be the Batman is really cool, and I'll tie this into the main topic. But when I watch the trailer just type it in, Be the Batman trailer on YouTube, and you'll see it's very inspirational. You see different scenarios of injustice, of problems, and the phrases that come out are be selfless, be determined, be courageous, be feared, then be the Batman. So it's it was pretty cool. And what I enjoyed about it is that I think heroes as characters are important in society. You know, when you have Superman who isn't trying to kill anybody, you know, he'd never kill, or you know, even Batman. Batman has gone through, you know, Batman's done some pretty gritty stuff, but one of the things he will never do is he'll never kill. That's one of the rules that he won't break, no matter what the villains do. That it's nice to see that inward struggle. I mean, had Marvel done it better, we would have seen Tony Stark as an alcoholic. You know, we did see his, you know, him DJing in the club in his house in the Iron Man suit, and then Nick Fury makes an appearance to him at a donut shop or something like that. But in the comic book world, Tony Stark's alcoholism was, for those of you who don't know, yeah, he is an alcoholic. That's one of the things he struggled with the most in his life. And it was very humanizing. And many people are like, oh, why do you need to humanize these people? They're superheroes. They're supposed to be outlandish. And well, you know what? Society doesn't need to be society. You know, me speaking, I don't feel that society needs to be jerked around anymore. I don't think as people, I don't think we need to be, you know, given, you know, ribbons of participation. You know, I think we need a dose of reality and inspiration. So when I see these characters, when I see comic book characters, you know, Peter Parker going through his problems with Mary Jane, you know, Watson, not the drug, or you know, one of the struggles he had was when, because he revealed himself. Okay, this is in the comic books. I mean, just because it's going to come out in the movies, but Spider-Man is going to reveal his character. Okay, jeez. All right, wait for it. All right, I feel that's enough. Okay. According to the Marvel Civil War comic, which is an amazing comic, you should pick it up and read. It's a great story. Peter Parker reveals himself to America. Well, Spider-Man reveals himself to America as Peter Parker, and one of the downside is that something happened. You know, his Aunt May gets shot, and it's very humanizing because you see in all his power, all the power that he has, he's running around trying to get help so that Aunt May would still survive. Peter Parker doesn't have a mom. He doesn't have a dad. You know, unless you want to go through those comics, yeah. But he's going to Doctor Strange, trying to go get some otherworldly help through his mystic powers, and then you go see. He goes to Tony Stark because he's like, Tony, you got the money. You made me do this. Blah, blah. It's humanizing. I think we need that. I like to have it as a human being, as a person. I like to see it and believe that people are still people, and that we're just not caricatures of ourselves that we just throw pictures up on Instagram about where we've been or how we look. I think there's more than the duck face behind the face. You know what I'm saying? So those are the three video games that I'm super excited for. And so it's Metal Gear Solid 5. Do yourself a favor if you want, you know, a good storyline game. Guitar Hero if you want to party, and Arkham Knight if you want to just immerse yourself in Gotham. All right, so now that that's over, let's get into the main topic about the death of anime. I have to keep that in the background. I have to. Okay, guys, wow. This anime got me. Okay, alright, man. You have your animes and you have your collection, right? You have your Dragon Ball Z's or your Kenshin Muyos, or you have that little thing. You have that collection that you hold near and dear. But if it weren't for animes like this, let's go ahead and put that down a little bit. You have your collection that you hold near and dear to your heart. However, we have forgotten about the pioneer anime shows that came out earlier on. Now, okay, I'm 28, and I know there's a generation half my age who, have a collection of anime that's bigger than mine, and you might be like, oh, you're just an oldie, you're old dude, and it's not about the age, it's about the quality. All right, the quality that anime has had, and that's what brought this about. Where the writer of this show, let's see, Hideaki Anno. Sorry, I can't pronounce Japanese names too well, but Hideaki Anno. He's the creator of Neon Genesis Evangelion. If you don't know this anime, it's a wow, it's a mecha, it's how would you say, it's like an apocalyptic mecha of sorts, and that's the best way I can describe it. I mean, the creatures that these teenagers need, there's these creatures that come to Tokyo 3 to destroy Tokyo 3 are called angels, and there is so much. There's Christian symbolism in it, which I don't like the fact that you can pick up a cross and there's a bunch of symbols don't mean anything, because people can use symbols for anything. So it's not about the symbolism, it's about what it does to you. I mean, so yeah, like the creatures are called angels, and it's a mind. It messes with your mind. It is crazy, guys. This anime. It revolves around Shinji Ikari, and I guess he leaves his mom. He's goes to be with his dad, Gendo Ikari, and his dad is like the leader of this organization that fights off these creatures. And it's not a mecha anime. It's more of it's a life anime, because this character Shinji Ikari is the most insecure character on earth, but he's an archetype. He's an archetype of how you are. I don't know if you I don't know how old you are, but when I was 15 years old, when I was 18 years old, even when I was 20, 21, there was a lot of insecurity that I had. I'll be the first one to say it. You can probably say it. I won't hear you unless you comment. Leave a comment on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Outlet Podcast, or at Outlet Podcast on Twitter. You can let me know how you felt about it, how you felt in your teenage years. But he was insecure about a lot of stuff, because he didn't feel like he belonged in anything. It was a great anime. So if you haven't, do yourself the favor and don't read so much into it, because man, the Evangelion will mess your mind up. It's not black and white. It is weird, is what it is. But in an interview with the Russian news agency RIA Novosti, it's via Ava Geeks. Here, pardon me real quick. He goes and says the anime industry as we know it will end in the next 5 to 20 years. Decline and death are unavoidable. Anno calls this the only a matter of time. Japanese animation is in decline. He told RIA it's already peaked. Next, Anno believes is the inevitable death. After it does collapse, there will probably be a new resurgence. The question, Anno wonders, is whether the people will wait for this rebirth. I don't think anime will vanish, but perhaps that there might not be the conditions that have existed up until now that have led to the creation of interesting films. So the question is he right or wrong? Now you might say, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Listen, he's a patriarch of anime. He's one of the progenitors. This guy is serious. When you talk about leaders or quintessential anime, he's up there. So when he says that anime might die, it's kind of important to listen. I would, see what he's trying to say. With that said, the question is he right? Will anime die within the next 5 to 20 years? What do you think? Let me go on and tell you what I think. Yes, I think anime will die. But because everything dies. Everything passes away in some form or shape or another, and it comes back in some form or shape or another. And as far as, to lighten this up, I'm not trying to be like super, super dark about this, but to lighten it up, this is just, there's reasons why this happened. There's oversaturation in anime, and we've been inundated with different shows. I started off like I said it before. I started off with Toonami, Adult Swim, and then little by little, going to cons, I was revealed like more stuff little by little. Getting figuring out different different shows. I'm like, oh, look at this show, and and then you go back when Borders bookstore was around. Barnes and Nobles kind of still does it too, but I don't see many people go. I used to go to the anime section and sit down on the carpet and pick up what was the books? I picked up, the books for the shows that I was watching, Eureka 7, Full Metal Alchemist, because some of the things in the manga wasn't in the anime. I was reading Gundam Endless Waltz, which was one of the best movies. You can do yourself a favor, watch that. So it was kind of controlled in a way. Everybody knew the shows that you can be like, do you watch this show? Yeah, I watch this show. And you can actually have a conversation. Like, one of the girls I dated is because I saw her at the Borders bookstore in the anime section. And I was like, what? And we were able to hit it off because there was a common ground of anime that we knew. All right, wow, we can talk about this, we can talk about that. So now I can't. It's hard. Like I walked into a GameStop the other day and I talked about Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and me and the guy got into a conversation over the counter, and someone walked into the store. Long story short, I said my adieu to the guy at the counter, started talking with the other guy, and he would be like, do you watch this show? And I said, no. I was like, do you watch, this? And he's like, no, I don't even, what is that? It stinks. There is so much content. And now, thanks to, we got Crunchyroll and there are other sources, but now we can get our anime fix directly from Japan. So there is no common ground that you can have. Like, in your circle of friends, you can all be like, yeah, we all watch the same shows. But the magic of going to a con and having that connection, that is going, and that stinks. I don't like not having that common ground. So there's an oversaturation. There's a lot of imitation that goes on too. Man, because let me tell you, when Naruto crossed overseas, and I was like, okay, yellow hair, and his outfit is blue and orange. Wow, can you try to be closer to Goku? Really? And the filler episodes, because Dragon Ball Z, listen, the day Dragon Ball had Piccolo trying to learn how to drive, I'm sorry, it's not, it's, you don't get a pass. It's filler. I mean, I don't like filler. Filler for the sake of comedy is cool, but there's some shows that inundate you with filler because it's all about money. Let me get you to watch more shows for the sake, I get you to watch more shows than when we sell out the box sets. You're going to be hooked to want to buy season 2, or you're going to be hooked to buy box set A because you got hooked with 1A, now you need box set 1B. You're hooked, and it's, rather than have it all in one box, now they spread it out, and it seems like it's all about money. So there's just imitation, left and right. It seemed like with Naruto's, there's a villain, and they got to come up with a power, and then there's the next villain, you discover a new power, and it's like with Dragon Ball Z, what breaks my heart is, has been that, Super Saiyan 1, okay, now Super Saiyan 2, now Super Saiyan 3, now Super Saiyan 4. Now all that doesn't matter because Super Saiyan 4 don't real, because guess what? Now there's Super Saiyan God. Now what else is there after Super Saiyan? So it's like, wow, you're just beating that horse to death. There's no innovation. That's, no one wants to step out of their comfort zone and write an amazing anime. I remember Paranoia Agent and how it came out on Toonami. Do yourself a favor, watch Paranoia Agent. Tell me if you have at outletpodcast.com, at Outlet Podcasts on Twitter. Let me know. Paranoia Agent is all about the like a monster of insecurity, like the spirit of paranoia, like inhabiting a city because of, like, it deals with that little slugger. Just and it was supposed to get you to think. It was supposed to get you outside of like your comfort zone, kind of think, and even if you're in a comfort zone, have you understand a little more, make you, that's what it was there for. Now there's no innovation. There's no one wants to go, let me just, repeat the same thing over and over again. And what kills me also is the reimaginings. GT, why GT, why? That just came about because the people wanted money. They couldn't let the story go. Now, yeah, okay, it's great that Goku, the original writer has come back, and now we're gonna have some great Dragon Ball Z Super. That's cool. That's awesome. Great. But the point is that when you don't revive a legend who's given his life, you know what I'm saying? How can anime bounce back? Anime can bounce back, it has to be a perfect storm, and I've seen it with a few shows, so I'm excited. That's why I don't believe that it will die necessarily in the negative way. It will come back, but it takes a lot. In no order, I wrote down, soundtrack. A good soundtrack. Listen, it shows that you care. When I first listened to the intro for Attack on Titan, I was like, this is cool. Because you had so much music. It was like they cared, and that's what it comes down to. Care about the product that you're going to produce, and don't try to enjoy the moment, enjoy for what it is. You know what I'm saying? I love SAO, Sword Art Online. I love the intro for Sword Art. It's, a good intro will just get you. I remember Fullmetal Alchemist with Lark and Cell, Orange Range with Asterisk for Bleach. I remember, Samurai Champloo I bought these CD. well, for Samurai Champloo, you need to buy the CD for the soundtrack of Samurai Champloo. It is very dope. It is very, very cool. With the new Jubies, it's awesome. I bought the soundtrack for Eureka 7 because it was amazing. You know, you had great music. It wasn't a dude sitting behind a keyboard. You know, it was an orchestra that was involved. Soundtracks, you know, make legends. All right, you know, when you have Goku pass away. All right, he came back like 5 times. But just how about if he passes away? And that's initially from how Goten came about, because Goten was supposed to be the guy, you know, the new kind of center, but no one liked that, so Goku ended up staying. Make a legend like that. When you have a legendary character, when you have Spike on Cowboy Bebop, you know what I'm saying? That character, you want to keep on watching. So that you make legends. Yeah, Vash Stampede, how positive he was. I love that the concept of a guy, you know, like new concept. It's a Western, like I'm talking about Trigun. Watch Trigun. John Young Bosch did an amazing job with Trigun. As Vash Stampede, he was an unbelievable pacifist, and you know, he was so genuine. It was easy to love this character. He was just a good character. The how you had it with Trigun, it was like